Yo, who hired you?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yo, Who Hired You? My name is James, and this is...
I'm Hag.
And we're going to talk about the phenomenon known as job hugging. You might ask yourself, what's job hugging?
Just hanging on to something and just not leaving and hanging on to it forever.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving. Things
have changed around. This ain't 2020 and 2021 where you could jump around every couple of years and get an increase. Things have changed. The market is down. Inflation is up. You got to hug that job.
Now you just can't leave.
We're going to unpack it. Stay tuned.
James, so we're going from job hopping, what was happening before, everybody just going from job to job, now to job hugging. Like, how did we get here?
So you thought you were pretty smart, huh? Just moving job to job every couple of years, getting your like 3% increases or 4% increases every time you hopped around.
You sound like, you know what? You sound like the guy on like the old Jay-Z albums, like, you messing with big time.
You gonna die big time. Here comes the pain.
Yeah.
So you thought you were pretty smart, right? You thought you had it all figured out. You thought you were just gonna hop around every couple of years and it was gonna be all good forever.
Yeah. Nope.
Sorry. Party's over, buddy. Check this out. Wherever you're at, stay put, hang on for dear life because job hugging is in effect. So what is job hugging? Job hugging is now the result of
overhiring?
I would say overhiring, higher interest rates, inflation creeping up, and really bad unemployment numbers that have just been quietly creeping up over the last 2 years.
And the other thing we got to consider as well is the AI.
Disrupting.
Yeah, it's disrupting everything too. So now you got this new thing that's here in the mix that wasn't here 3-4 years ago.
Exactly. And CEOs everywhere, I forgot where we saw the survey. I think it was a CNBC survey. But 38% of CEOs are planning to make layoffs, right? So they're not planning on growing the workforce. What they're planning on is growing their efficiencies.
Consolidating.
That's it. And if you don't speak corporatese, efficiency means, can I get a machine to do it that I never have to pay so that I don't have to worry about cost of employment? Do you know what cost of employment is, Hack?
It's probably way too much money.
Exactly. Cost of employment, for those of you who don't know out there, is how much your boss or your company has to pay for your role, right? Like, just because they pay you $100,000 doesn't mean that's it. They got
overhead. There's a whole
401k. There's legal stuff. There's all kind of stuff.
They got to turn the lights on.
Exactly.
You know, you'd be like, oh, well, I work from home, but there's still somebody at the headquarters that the lights got to go on. Somebody's got to clean the building. Somebody's got to do the maintenance. Somebody's got to play depreciation on the building, all that good stuff.
All that stuff. So there's cost of employment attached to every job. So the less jobs, the less expenses I have for hiring people. And if I can get all these things done with less people, with innovation through AI or automation or robots, guess what I'm going to be doing as a CEO? So hug that job like you hugged that baddie in the club the other night because times is getting rough out there, guys. Yeah. So, Mr. Hagedorn.
Yes.
Would you like to provide us with some data on job hopping?
Sure. So in 2021 through 2022, job switchers, job movers, just people that weren't staying at their jobs saw an increase in pay right around, like, let's say 8%.
Legitimate.
Legitimate.
Legit.
And people that stayed, they got a little less.
Like 5%.
5%. Yeah.
So I get it. I get why y'all did it. I ain't mad. I'm not mad. Hey, go get your money. Jump around. See what's out there. It's like in a relationship. Oh, you think there's somebody better for you out there? Go ahead.
You know what I always say? In other former roles, I'd be like, so when you coming home? It wasn't everything that you thought it was going to be, huh? Because that happens. Yeah. You know?
And look, let's say you got that 7% increase when you changed your role and you were like, clock's ticking. I'm about to get out of this job and get into the new job, right? And you do it. You make the hop. Now you get another 7% increase. You're living the life. And then everything changes. The weather changes. The storms come and it gets dark. Now you can't hop out of the job you're in because the turbulent waters, the economy's all jacked up.
Maybe some of the perks that you had at your previous job, you don't get at your new job. And you're like, oh man, I should have just stayed. I should have taken that 5% instead of that 8%. It really wasn't worth it.
And have the longevity and stability of having a job and knowing that I feel comfortable and I feel safe. Now, again, I said it before in another episode. I feel like fortune favors the bold. So you got to do what you got to do, right? And if everybody's getting an 8% increase jumping around, why am I not going to go get an 8% increase, right?
Because it may not work out.
Because it might not work out. And just like happened right now, the weather changed, and now you're out in the ocean in the middle of a hurricane, right? And you might not have the right boat. So that's another thing is, even if you were in your original job, right, before you hopped, and you only got a 5% increase, right? But you have the stability that like, hey, I'm going to be here. I can be here for a couple of years. I know that my skill set and my relationship equity inside this company will hold me down for a little while. Like if things get rough.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, you got to remember is the job stayer, right? As opposed to the person that was, jumping from job to job. That person's the last one in. Mm-hmm. So the job stayer basically might be the person that, when there's a reduction is staying. He's not going. Now the job hopper is going to have to go maybe take 10% less of what they had before because now they're just trying to find a job. Or now you actually made less money.
Yeah. Or zero because the unemployment rate is skyrocketing, right? So the job numbers came out. They were bad. Google them yourself. I don't want to come off the top of my head and give you some bad information, but the numbers were not good. So, and they're increasing. I think the national unemployment rate is somewhere around 2% or no, I'm sorry.
No, it's usually 4 or 5,
It's
right?
4 or 5, but what the quit rate is at 2%, which is the lowest it's been since like the pandemic, which means everybody right now is staying put. Because if you enter the unemployment pool, it's nasty out there. You've got all the federal workers who were just laid off with all the Doge stuff that happened earlier in the year, and their unemployment benefits are going to run out in the next couple of months. So there's going to be an air of desperation and urgency in that group of people, which is in the tens of thousands, right? Then you've got all the tech layoffs that happened earlier in the year and the previous year. That's another tens of thousands of group of people.
Now there's going to be a surplus, which means that basically the demand and everything, it's like, you're probably not going to get as much as you were getting before.
And what happens when the demand gets low, right? Like the price goes down. I can get that anywhere. There's a million of you.
What did you say? Today's price is not yesterday's price?
Today's price is not yesterday's price.
And that could go the other way. It's usually something where it's like, oh, the price went up, but actually the cost maybe and the price went down.
Yes.
So now what?
It's again, we'll put it in terms that you can all relate to. The reason that sneakers and whatever have a high resale value is because of the scarcity, right? Like it's hard to get them. It's not easy to get them. So you're paying for the convenience of just walking into Flight Club or one of these places and paying a premium to get those things that you desire. Yep. But now if those sneakers are widely available at Foot Locker, who's going to be a bozo and walk into Flight Club and pay $200 or $300 extra for those sneakers?
Not happening.
Not going to happen. So think of yourself like that Zebra Yeezy sneaker that was out 3 or 4 years ago that people were paying $1,000 for, that I can go right now into Ross or Famous Footwear and get for like $89.
Right.
They're everywhere. There's bums wearing them right now. Like it's everywhere.
We'll just say people that are less fortunate.
They're a bunch of bums.
Bozos.
The destitute, those peoples. But anyway, hiring rate, lowest in over a decade. You heard me? You hearing me? Are we connecting here through the screen? Stop scrolling. I know you're scrolling. Stop scrolling. The hiring rate is the lowest it has been in over a decade. Do the math backward. What was a decade from now?
What, 2015?
2015. What was happening in 2015? That was a million years ago.
That was a lifetime ago.
That was a million years ago. I think it was like Enos Cantor was starting on the Knicks in 2015. That's how long ago. Yeah. I think Carmelo Anthony might have still been playing in 2015.
It was. Tom Coughlin was still coaching the Giants.
That's how long ago A decade was. And this is the lowest hiring has ever been in a decade.
What was the song back then? I think like Panda?
Panda.
Panda was jumping.
All right. So, job openings.
Yeah.
Cut that right in half since March of 2022. So before there used to be a ratio of 2 jobs for every 1 person seeking employment. Right now, that ratio is 1 to 1. And trust me, probably by the time we drop this episode, it'll be like 0.5.
Well, no wonder why these college grads can't find a job.
That's right. There's 12% of college graduates that cannot find a job.
And that's even people from Harvard. It's a real thing.
So now do you understand why people are hugging these jobs and clinging for? They should call it job clinging. Like it's clutching. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine you're on the edge of the cliff, like on all the movies, and you're like hanging on and that rock starts giving way. That's what job hugging is right now. It's people hanging on for dear life. Nobody's quitting their jobs. That's it. You're stuck. You were job hopping. It was cute for a little while. You're stuck. You're at this job. You're not going anywhere. You might hate it. You might love your boss. You might not. Whatever. Deal with it. Learn some skills while you're there. Get some experience because you're going nowhere.
Yeah, it's like high school. You already peaked.
That's it.
It's over.
You hit all the cheerleaders. You scored the 4 touchdowns at Polk High in the divisional game. It's over. This is it. Okay? You played the game and you lost. You're stuck. Musical chairs happened, and now you're stuck in this chair. The minute you get up, there's 15 other people trying to grab that chair from right up under you. And the reason for that is because the quit rate is at 2%. That's right. 2. That's the lowest since 2016. That means nobody is leaving their job anymore.
Damn, straight deuces?
Deuces. That means you want me to quit this job where I'm to go out there and that where it's 4.2 unemployment and the unemployment rate for black youth is at 21.7%. 21. That's 22%.
That's not good.
That is not good. And then college graduates, we're talking about people in tech and IT and finance. 12% of them cannot get jobs.
Damn robots, man.
And these are people who spent $100,000 to go to the best schools, get the education they were told was going to get them the 6-figure salary and the bonuses and the yacht and the country club and the trophy wife with the Range Rover, and it's over.
Yeah,
that's it. It's over. It's at least for right now. It's over.
Well, that's why the inflation and all the other stuff is because can they pay that loan back? They just borrowed all this money that nobody's ever going to pay back.
Nobody's paying those loans back. It's like that bill you get from like when you go to the doctor.
It was like the Blockbuster bill back in the day for
be kind of rewind my ass. I'm never paid. Take that 50 cent in blood, bro. You're never getting it from me. So listen. Also, when we're talking about student loans, it's the highest delinquency rate in 21 years. But let me ask you a question. At what age do you usually graduate from college?
21, 22.
So this whole generation is not paying back their student loans.
And if they do, they're going to garnish your wages.
And then guess what? What happens? You know, all those student loans are backed by some kind of bank somewhere, right? So when all of you guys are just delinquent on your student loans, you're creating a debt crisis that's feeding right into inflation, that's going to keep interest rates high, that's just going to keep this whole vicious cycle of this really bad job market right in place.
Learn to trade. Go to community college.
Hey, listen, we joking.
Yeah.
You know who's
real.
You know who's pushing the BMWs right now, the X5s and the 6s and all that, and the Alpines?
My cousin who owns a plumbing business.
It's the HVAC guy. The electricians you ever see the episode of South Park?
Yeah.
Where the guy was like, I can't fix my oven. And then the handyman pulled up in a fur and he was like, that's where we at right now with this. Like, forget about it. Like it was a great dream of comp sci degrees and I'm gonna be a coder and a programmer. It's over with, buddy. I can tell you.
My cousin's gonna get the Rolls Royce because he just figured out about AI.
Listen, with ChatGPT, make me an app.
Yeah.
I should be like, done. So I get it. 10 years ago, comp sci, computer programming, software engineers, that was a great field.
Yep.
Not no more.
I think we're going to start working for my cousin.
Listen, I'm going to start learning how to weld pipes and pause. And,
right.
You know what I'm saying? All of that. Because it's real, guys. Hug on to those jobs. cling on tight. And while you're there, don't be a bozo and be a quiet quitter or a quiet cracker.
That sounded really bad. I'm not a quiet cracker.
I said it and then it registered, but don't be a quiet cracker. And what I mean by that is, don't sit at your desk waiting to crack and snap. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody likes a quiet cracker, okay?
Just loud crackers.
Nobody, if you're gonna be a cracker, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all good.
Crack, make a snap, make a noise. You know, don't be a quiet cracker. This is all so bad, but it's, you know, it's
actually kind of funny.
it's entertaining. These are jokes, right? It's a joke. Anyway, so
moving on.
All
right, so let's talk about some of this stuff where you get a little stagnant, right? Like you start plateauing in your career, you're now disengaged, you don't want to go above and beyond, and you're just like,
quiet quitter.
That's where the quiet quitting comes in. However, if you ever want to not, you know, lose your job, and the person who maybe just came in that they're paying a little bit more, and like, maybe we got a little bit more invested in this person. Now what do you do?
Yeah. And you got to remember, man, if you've been job hopping, you got it off. But like as my friend Hagedorn here said, if you're the last man in the door,
you're probably the first one out.
Ta-da! It's bad out there, guys. Listen, and then look, if you decided to stay, I personally think this is like a lose-lose situation. I don't think there's a clear winner whether you're a stayer or a hopper, right? Because if you stay, like you said, you get stagnated. You start appearing to the outside
your
world.
value may drop down, right? Because you may seem expendable because they're like, oh, well, this person's always been here. Do we really need this role?
Well, not just that, Hag. Also, like, to the outside world, right? Let's say you've been at a company, you're there 10 years, right? Now you're applying to go to a new company, you're trying to be in hopper. You want that 7%, 8% increase that was happening for hoppers.
They're going to look at that resume and they're going to be like, oh, you've been in the same place for 8 years and you haven't been promoted once and you just had the same job title? And
even if you have different job titles, you know what it's going to look like? You didn't take any chances. You didn't have any cojones. Like, you just stayed put in the same spot, and maybe you only know one platform. Oh, you only know Cvent. Oh, you're not familiar with Salesforce.
Well, if we take you over here, what's the chances that you're going to stay here long term and not just go back to your other job, right? That could be something as well.
That could be it as well. And also, it's like, yeah, we're not really doing the 8% increase stuff anymore. Like, you can come here, but you're going to get paid about the same amount of money you were making at your other job, where you have the relationship equity and, you know, you just have the cachet. Whereas here, you're the new guy. And listen, if we need to make cuts, you're the first guy out of here.
New guy's gone because you're the most expensive, probably.
Yeah. Well, relatively.
Sure.
Because again, they're not getting those increases as they were before, but they still probably are higher than the people that have been there.
It's potentially, yeah.
Because that goes back to the cycle of when you stay somewhere too long, you're probably underpaid. Yeah. Like, that's just, it is what it is, right?
If you're the new person and you're being paid less than the people that have already been there because you're just looking for an opportunity. So then maybe the people that feel like they've been loyal to the place, I don't know. Now we're going to take someone else that's costing a little bit less money. The person who hasn't grown over the past 8 years, now you're
out of here.
Out of here.
That's right. And listen, when you decide to stay somewhere, you got to understand that you're going to trade money potentially, or your earning potential, for stability, right? Because growth versus stability, there's a push and pull right there. You want growth, you got to be bold, you got to take chances, you got to maybe hop around a little bit, you got to learn a new skill set, maybe you got to go back to school. You've got to try things to grow. You're not just going to grow by staying put, right? Now, you can stay put in the same company, maybe move to a different team. Maybe you're taking on a whole new job.
Yeah.
But you gotta move a little bit around. You gotta try to move up and around. If you are a hopper and you're just chasing that money, again, you're in this position right now where you're like, I can't go nowhere. Now I'm stuck, and I don't want to be stuck.
Yeah, I know a former colleague that did that, and now they're staying. They're not going anywhere. They're like happy where they are now because of all this. And they probably had 3 to 4 jobs within the past 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a real thing.
Listen, it's a crazy market out there. Prepare accordingly.
All right, James. So we're great leaders. We know exactly what to do. So what should we do?
We should pay everybody less money
Yes.
and put pressure on everybody that is nasty outside. You want to be outside, or you want to cry in a Rolls Royce, or you want to cry in a Honda? Where you want to cry at?
I'd say you want to go to jail, you want to go home.
There you go. There you go. So for me, I would say as a leader, and I know I got a captive audience because you can't go nowhere. I would try personally to build you guys up. I would try to start building succession plans, try to inspire some of you guys. It's like in school when you have the rainy day and you can't go outside for recess and the teacher brings in Jurassic Park on the TV with the VHS. Let's make the best of the situation, right? We can't go anywhere. Let's all stay here and make the best of it. That's what I would do. I would say we're all here. The job market is what it is. Here, guys, learn a skill. Learn a new trade. Let's work on some new problems. And then that way you guys can get better while you're here.
Okay. Are we more flexible now in terms of being able to maybe leave a little early, work a little bit more remote? Like, what do you feel about that?
I feel if I wanted, I could do whatever I want now.
But can we do a little bit more perks, make everybody a little bit more happy? You may not be making as much money, but what can we incentivize everybody for or with in order to kind of keep their morale boosted?
All right. That question could get answered two ways.
Okay.
If I'm Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, then there's no perks.
Okay.
There is no leaving early.
Yeah, but he's not a good leader, though.
Let me walk.
Okay.
Let me walk
I'm
the
sorry.
dog. I'm walking the dog, right?
Okay.
So if I'm a bad manager, if I'm a bad CEO, I know what it is outside. I know how nasty it is, right? I know you guys are desperate. You're quiet quitting. You're quiet cracking. You're all this stuff. You can't go nowhere. I got you. You're here. I'm gonna say if I'm that type of person, no perks, no leaving early, no remote work. You're gonna do it the way I want you to do it, and you're gonna get it done this way.
You're going to stay longer.
You got no options. Oh, you're leaving at 5 o'clock? I didn't know today was half a day.
Yeah.
If you're that type of organization and boss. Now, on the other side of it, if you're an empathetic, transformative leader, such as us,
Yes.
maybe we start working in things to help you all during this kind of period, right? Like we know what it is. So we're like, yo, you know what? There's not a lot going on today or Fridays. Hey guys, you guys can leave at whatever, 1:30 or 2 o'clock on a Friday.
Just make sure your stuff is done.
Yeah. Make sure all your work is done. Listen, have some time with your kids, your family, your friends. Go do your thing. If, again, the operation allows for that because of the business volume. Or here's an extra or a perk. One day a month, you can pick a day to work from home as long as business allows it or something. You can figure things out to give people something where they feel good about working for you, right? Even though it's raining outside.
You get a floating holiday or something.
Yeah. Throw them a bone. Yeah, keep the change. Go to the store, keep the change, kiddo.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, right?
That's fair.
But again, joking around, but really what we're talking about is rebuilding the culture and kind of inserting some empathy because we know times are rough. We're all in it together. Because again, I can be out on my ass tomorrow too, just like you, right? Like they could say, hey, you know what? We've been paying this leadership guy a lot of money. Let's get him out of here. Let's get some bozo who doesn't know anything.
We want to start over.
We want to start over. Or to like the whole Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson thing. My old leader might have built everything up to a certain point where it's turnkey.
You're welcome.
And now any bozo, any 500 other bozos that are outside on the unemployment line could come in and just keep this thing in the right direction. So nobody's really immune in this job hugging, job hopping.
Everybody's replaceable at the end of the day.
Quiet quitting, quiet cracking culture or environment we're in. Anybody can go. So the thing about it is, right? Everybody's replaceable, but you got to know it's going to take 4 of y'all to do my job.
Yeah. It's going to cost a little bit more money.
Yeah.
The guy that won back-to-back Super Bowls can get shown the door. So can you.
Facts. And then I think while you're in this kind of, that's the thing too, like, I don't think employers are looking at this like a crisis. I think they're looking at this like,
yeah, we got control.
Yeah, we got control. We're going to increase our profit margins. We're going to lower our expenses. This is a good time for big companies.
Yeah.
Right?
See if we can do less with more.
Yeah, you got to think about it like that. And you can't take it personal.
I'm sorry, more with less.
More or less.
Yeah.
And look, don't be a bozo taking it personal, yelling at the Amazon sign in front of the warehouse you work at, like, damn you, Jeff Bezos. If you were Jeff Bezos, what would you do? What would Bezos do? He would get robots to deliver these.
Already is.
Yeah, he would be doing exactly what he's doing. So I understand why so many of us are angry at automation and AI and this whole thing. But if you were a business industry titan and leader, you'd be doing the same exact thing. But
I feel like also as a worker, you could also turn this negative into a positive and take advantage of this and be like, okay, I'm unable to maybe move or move up. Like, what can we do to enhance my skill set? What kind of trainings, what kind of certifications? Like, what are the opportunities here in order for me to potentially, grow, even though it may not be as a promotion or more money, but what can I do to help potentially grow my career long term instead of being like, well, I only do one thing. I'm not doing nothing else.
Listen, y'all got to realize it's over, guys. This whole one-trick pony, I went to school for this and I just do this, it's over for that. So you might have spent $100,000 on a worthless degree right now, and I'm being as real as possible with all of y'all. You better figure something else out, all right? And that's going to be the difference between the people who are thriving in the next 10 to 15 years and all of you who are going to be in a trailer park somewhere or somewhere camping out in Seattle on a sidewalk talking about, I hate the man, he did this to me. No. You were right at the precipice of a change, of an industrial revolution, and you decided that you were going to fight against the steam engine, that you were going to keep with the horse and buggy, and you got left behind. Yep. So learn a skill, go back to school, embrace AI, and you want to know something too?
Find a mentor.
Find a mentor.
Yeah.
Bro, check this out.
Call us up.
So many, right? So many, what's like the booming market right now?
What's that?
Healthcare. While everybody else is firing people and laying people off, healthcare is hiring left and right and is so far immune to this turn in the economy. And do you know why? Because they don't have the ability yet to fully replace doctors and nurses and orderlies and porters and people that take blood and scientists and biologists and x-ray techs.
They don't have enough people.
They don't. And listen, you don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to be a nurse. X-ray techs make money. MRI techs make money. You could be, there's tons. You could be an adult attendant, an adult care attendant. That's the fastest growing business in America, I think. I saw somewhere, adult care, because we're all going to get old.
We're all going to get sick at some point.
We're all going to get sick and we're all going to get old, and there has to be somewhere for all of us to be and for somebody to take care of us. Now, I do think you give that 20 years,
it's going to look way different.
There'll be robots doing that for sure. They're not going to be abusing.
Not everything, but yeah. However, but if you started that at 10D or whatever, you can,
you'll be out by the time that hits.
It could be, but if you do the right thing and you try to grow and you try to learn and get the certifications and training and go back to school, then you probably have a long-term success.
You got to pivot. That's it. You don't got to pivot into healthcare. It's just an example we're throwing out there. But you got to pivot. If I know it sucks. You just did 4 years in school. You got all this debt. But you're going to sit there and cry about it, or you're going to get up and you're going to do something about it and change your life so that you're not crying on the unemployment line somewhere.
That's right.
And listen, Big T, he coming for them benefits. So it's going to be nasty outside, and you're not going to be able to just suck on that government titty. It's not going to be there for long. That titty deflated like a mug right now. That joint looking like a pancake. It looking like Amazon titties right now. Like it's not going to be there for very long. So again, you got to get on your feet right now and start planning for the future.
That's right. Or if you're in college right now, you need to start thinking about maybe a new major. Yeah. Or switching.
That
perhaps.
Major in puppy psychology and cat sociology and, what's all that nonsense.
Or if you just like, oh, man, I got too many student loans. Maybe I need to think about a different school or
cheaper school.
something like that. Yeah.
Trade school, or vocationals, or something. But guys, don't get stagnant, don't get depressed, and don't get stuck in a rut where you're like, man, what do I do now? What you need to do is get up off your ass and figure it out, see what's popping, and jump into that.
Hagedorn Plumbing's hiring.
Facts. All right, so listen. To recap, we're all screwed. If you stay at a company, you're gonna make less, right? Your skills might get stagnated. To the outside world, looks like you didn't evolve, you didn't grow, and you didn't take any chances. So they could probably pay you less. If you hop around, it's cool for a little while, but when you hit murky water like this, pobrecito is bad. Because now you have to maybe the spot you jumped into that was only supposed to be for 2 years. Now you got to stay 5 years because it's not looking good out there. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. Learn a skill, learn a trade, learn how to dress at work, learn how to talk to people, behave yourself. Don't be a bozo.
All right, James. So in closing here, what are we doing? Are we hugging our job or are we hugging growth? Which one?
Hugging the block, bruh.
There you
Crazy
go.
is nasty outside. I'm not going outside. I'm staying right
So
where
we're not
I'm at.
taking any risks anymore. We're just going to stay where we are.
Calculated risks is what I'm going to be doing. And
Okay.
listen, you do whatever you want. You want to try and jump for that 7% raise. It ain't there no more when you hopping around. It's over for that. So jump at your own risk is what I'll say.
But hopefully you have good leaders. If you don't, and you stay where you are and you're like, okay, well, they're going to invest in me. I'm going to get some extra training, certification. I might get an extra day off. I may be able to leave early once in a while. Or on the flip side, to James's point with Mr. Burns, like you're just not leaving. You're lucky that you're here. You're lucky that you have a job. And if you do any of those things, I'm going to show you where the door is and a place where you won't be allowed back.
Yep. Release the hounds.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll be like good luck out there. Let us know how it is out there because it's gonna be nasty. So look, like, subscribe, argue, don't argue. When you see us in the street, salute us and don't shoot us. We're your peoples. We love y'all. We hate y'all. Peace.
Yo, who hired you?